All right. Did anybody notice that there was a video that featured me going around the internet yesterday and today? Anybody see that? I guess the Daily Beast picked it up, and Something Cause picked it up, and a bunch of people. Now, some of it might have been out of context. And so some of you might be saying to yourself, Scott, did you say something racist? And I'll just, the answer is yes. Yes. So let me start out with the answer. The question is, Scott, did you say something super racist the other day? Yes. Yes. Everybody agree? Well, let me tell you what I said. I don't know how you could interpret it any other way. All right? So what I said was that based on a Rasmussen poll, in which people, black Americans were asked the question, is it okay to be white? And I noted that if you added up the people who said, no opinion, that they were unwilling to say it's okay to be white, and the people who said it wasn't okay to be white, it was nearly half. And so what I said was, if there's any group in which the data, not your opinion, not your personal opinion, but the data shows that half of them have a bad opinion about you, that you should avoid that group completely. And people said, but Scott, that is so racist. Well, of course it is. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly the definition of racist. Now, is that a problem? What's the problem with that? Is reparations racist? What about reparations? Are reparations racist? Yes. Yes, reparations are racist by definition. Are reparations bad? Well, it depends who you ask, right? It's an opinion. But simply the fact that it's completely racist doesn't automatically make it bad. How about what do you call it? Affirmative action? How about affirmative action? Is that racist? Affirmative action. Yeah, it's racist by definition. It's racist by intention. It's overtly racist, and it's supposed to be. In fact, it wouldn't work if it were not racist. Would it? Now, I've tentatively been in favor of, I'm forgetting the word, but I've been tentatively in favor of affirmative action historically. So I've been in favor of it, which is pretty racist. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree that for all the years that I was in favor of affirmative action, because I think probably there was a point in history where you needed a sledgehammer to get things, roughly equal. And it was very bad for people like me because I lost two careers because I wasn't black and I wasn't female. My bosses told me that directly. If you don't know those stories, you're going to doubt that they're true. Trust me, they're true. Yeah, I was told twice that I couldn't be promoted during my corporate years because I was white and male. They told me that directly, not hinted at it, directly, in direct words. Now, during those times, I was also in favor of affirmative action because it was also clear that, something needed to be done, and I didn't have a better idea. So I thought, well, I lost two careers, but I still had so many options that I went off and got rich a different way. So I didn't feel like much of a victim, even though I was targeted. I don't really have a victim mindset. So I had plenty of opportunities, so I just said, well, this sucks. I'll go somewhere where things don't suck so much. So I went where you could, succeed just with talent. I didn't need to be a certain color or gender. But so when I was in favor of affirmative action, which, by the way, I'm currently not in favor of. I'm currently not in favor of affirmative action, but only because the gap has closed enough, not completely, You know, it's not like we have equality. But we've closed the gap enough that the best thing you could do for the black community would be to get rid of favoritism. Because you want to do that short of actually full equality. Like you want to end the favoritism just before you get, or not even just before, but well before you get to total equality. Because the affirmative action causes bad feelings on its own, right? Affirmative action by its nature isn't a clean win for black people. It's a big advantage, clearly, but it's not a clean win because there's a little taint. You know, there's always the suggestion that, well, maybe you were, you know, one of those kind of hirers. You know, maybe it wasn't totally your talent, which is completely unfair. That's something that white people don't have to deal with. It's completely unfair. So what's fairest for successful, let's say, black people who want to make something of themselves and make a dent in the corporate world and, you know, succeed in everything, we need to get to the point where everybody agrees they did it on talent and hard work. Wouldn't that be cool? That seems like the least racist place we could be. But at the moment, if you have any kind of, you know, quotas or preferences, it's just purely racist. So I think we've gotten to the point in society where racist is no longer a bad word because we actually design things to racism, you know, both ways. Yeah. So I would agree, for example, that the school systems are racist because they very much favor people who have money, because the people with money can go to a better school, they can go to private school, et cetera. And because of, in my opinion, systemic racism forever, black schools are inadequate, totally inadequate. So, you know, there's tons of racism happening and tons of, let's say, racism that's engineered in to correct other racism. But we have now a thoroughly racist society. So all yesterday people were calling me a racist, and I thought, well, that's true. That's exactly what I said. It's also exactly what everybody else is saying. I mean, different topics, but we're at the point where 100% of people are racist. And it would be kind of stupid to act like it's not true. So let me ask you this. Do you think you should spend time with a group if half of the group dislikes you for some reason? Let's say half of the group has a bad feeling about you because of racism. That's what the Rasmussen poll said. Why would you spend time with a group half of whom don't like you? Why would you do that? Would that be stupid? Now, what people said is you're being racist. And again, I'm saying that's exactly what I'm being. No, not even a little bit not. Precisely exactly racist. Because any group that half of them who get polled say that it's not okay to be me, I don't want to spend time with them. Why would you? Now, some people, the dumb people who want to cause trouble, imagine that I meant that all white people should stay away from all black people in all scenarios. How many of you are dumb enough to think that I thought that? Is there anybody who wants to admit they're dumb enough to think that I meant that all white people should avoid all black people? Come on, you can admit it. You can admit you were dumb enough to think that's what I said, because all over social media people are saying it. You can admit it. Just admit it in public. Admit that you're dumb enough to think that I meant all white people and all black people should act just the same. You can